I'm just going to run through the plan for this session. So basically, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Tempo to start with, who we are, and then I'm going to talk about our Tempo Time Credits Cymru programme, and then talk about how you can earn time credits and how you use time credits, and basically how the whole model works. And then we'll sort of explore the impact and benefits of using time credits. And there'll be time for hopefully some questions at the end. But if you've got any burning questions as we go along, then please feel free to ask or pop them in the chat. And Gail's going to be monitoring the chat for me and will bring anything to my attention. And if you need to leave at any time for any reason, then please just feel free to do so. There's no need to ask. So firstly, who are we? Who is Tempo? We are Tempo, a small charity working in Wales and England. We were originally called Spice, but we needed to change our name a few years ago when the drug Spice was in circulation, because that became very problematic for us. And we were established in South Wales in 2008, and we expanded our work into England in around 2012. And our work was broadly based around the concept of time banking, which was first developed by Edgar Kahn, who was an American law professor and civil rights activist from New York, who wondered what could be achieved if everyone just gave an hour of their time each day. And he believed that everyone's time should be valued equally, regardless of what they give or what they contribute. So through time credits, Tempo aims to encourage more people to get involved in the community, enabling community participation and supporting pathways to volunteering. We like to think of ourselves as a thread that connects people, communities, services and businesses. And so what are time credits? Time credits are basically a tool for recognising and thanking people who give their time to their community or service. So people receive time credits when they give their time, and then they exchange them to access a range of activities or experiences from over 300 partners in what we call our recognition network across Wales and England. So people can use them to go to a theatre or a cinema, a leisure centre, a children's play centre or a farm, a heritage site, or a sports match. So basically, instead of paying entrance fees, they use their time credits to access activities or experiences. And roughly as a guide, 1 hour of time is equal to 1 time credit. I thought it'd be useful just to show you where our time credit programs and networks currently are. There are currently 6 programs in London, and we also have a program in Medway and Swale. And we have recognition networks in Cornwall, Birmingham, Lancashire and Chorley and Cambridgeshire. And thanks to funding from Welsh Government, we also work in all 22 local authorities in Wales. And on top of that, we've also drawn in additional funding to do more in-depth place-based work. So we have Heritage Lottery funding in Neath Port Talbot and Pen y Cymoedd funding, which is basically wind turbine funding in Cynon Valley in South Wales. I just want to tell you a little bit about our Time Credit Cymru programme, because it's allowed us to scale our time credit networks across all 22 local authorities in Wales. And this has allowed us to develop the first national time credit network in the world. This is quite exciting. Prior to this funding, we used to be commissioned to run a programme by local authorities, housing associations or health boards. So unless you lived in that particular area or estate, or were part of a health scheme, you weren't able to use time credits. So our coverage across Wales was very patchy, and with local authority budgets being cut, funding was getting harder and harder to obtain. So in 2020, just as lockdown began, we were successful in an application to Welsh Government to run an all Wales time credit programme. And this programme was intended to help support volunteer recruitment, to increase the well-being of volunteers using time credits, and to provide increased access to opportunities for people, which also helps with well-being. The programme aimed to help build community capacity and engagement, and help develop more opportunities for co-produced services in Wales. And most importantly, to grow our time credit networks across the whole of Wales so that more people could benefit from time credits and to increase the impact of time credits. And most importantly, this programme meant that time credits were completely free for any organisations across Wales. And this was a real game changer, and it made a huge difference to the number of organisations and volunteers using time credits across Wales. There are currently 944 groups and organisations signed up to time credits, and they vary from grassroots organisations to larger, more established organisations or local authorities. And nearly 10,000 volunteers to date on the programme. We've received nearly 271,000 time credits, which is a lot of time given or volunteered. And the impact of this programme has not gone unnoticed, and Welsh Government currently see time credits as an integral part of the new approach to volunteering in Wales strategy, which was launched in July, and that aims to strengthen the future impact of volunteering in Wales. The vision being that volunteering is part of our identity and culture in Wales, and that volunteers are given the conditions and the support that they need so that they can grow and flourish, which also benefits the wider community and society. And we're very hopeful that next April we'll be getting another 3 years of funding from Welsh Government so that we can continue building upon our work in Wales. So just coming back to time credits, how do people earn time credits? So any group or organisation that joins our Tempo network can use time credits, and a person then earns time credits for anything where they are voluntarily giving their time to support other people or their local community. So for example, helping to set up a youth session at a youth group, getting involved with gardening on an estate, participating in the running of an event, running activities in a service or a community, supporting peers or sharing their experiences, participating in consultation sessions, so you can get time credits for filling in questionnaires or giving your views, or perhaps running online events and activities. So anything really where people are giving their time. Time credits are incredibly flexible, which is one of the things I really love about them. They can be used for non-formal volunteering opportunities, such as making tea or coffee, setting up a meeting for a room, or even tidying up after an event. And they're a really brilliant tool or precursor to volunteering, helping people to get on the volunteering path. We often come across volunteers who say initially they thought they didn't think they could volunteer, that they didn't have anything to they felt they didn't have anything to give or anything to offer, and they lacked the confidence to volunteer. For Tempo, we always believe that everyone's got something to give, and time credits allow people to be thanked for whatever activity they're helping with. We've done a lot of work with recovery services in Wales, and we've heard of some people when they're in that service are really disengaged, have really low self-esteem and motivation, and how they've been offered some time credits initially to help them set up set up a room for a meeting, or to help make the tea or coffee, or to tidy up after an event. And they've been given some time credits as a thank you and encouraged to use them on something nice. And when they've done this, they've had a really good experience, and that's incentivized them to come back and ask how they can get more time credits. And what those services have found is that over time, as people get more engaged and do more in that service, their confidence grows, their skills grow, and then they sort of go on that formal volunteering pathway, often ending up volunteering back in the community, reintegrating themselves as they sort of move out of that recovery service. And so how do you use time credits? So you exchange your time credits for access to activities or services from a range of recognition partners that we have signed up across Wales and England. So types of activities include theatres, arts and music, cultural and heritage sites. So we've got Cadw sites in Wales and National Trust sites. You can learn them you can use them for training courses and learning new skills such as first aid. We have play and recreation centres, soft play centres, farms signed up with us, health and wellbeing activities. You can use your time credits to access counselling. We often have online offers as well, such as online maths and science resources for children, online yoga or mindfulness apps. And many of our groups and organisations also use time credits to organise their own trips, where they either take a bus full of volunteers to a venue to use their time credits, or if they've got budget for a bus, they'll charge their volunteers time credits for the bus. So people pay in time credits to go on that trip. And it's a really nice way for groups and organisations to bring their volunteers together. And also time credits can be used on local events and activities as well. So even things happening in the local community centre or local football matches or rugby matches, anything that people are paying for, they can use time credits instead. I'm just, Gail.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if you can see where you can use your time credits on timecredits.org/use. I'm just wondering if you're able to, if I stop sharing, are you able to share that screen?
I think so. I just got to work out which one it is. Can you see that?
Not yet.
Yeah. Oh, is it doing something?
Make sure you click on, it says like tab, window, an entire screen. So choose which one you want, and then you have to click on the actual screen below it. So you have to click twice, click on the actual screen below it. People miss that sometimes, including me.
Okay. I've got tabs open, so I'm not sure if it's the right one or not.
Let me see if I can try it.
Yeah, sorry, I can't work out which one it is. What window? Oh, I'm going to say, I think, no. Thanks, again. That one.
If in doubt, you can do, I just do entire screen sometimes and presentation view, then it'll go forward there. If it's
Can you see that? No, that's not the right one now, is it? Oh, I've lost it now. Sorry.
Let me see if I share it. Gail, do you want to talk it through? Is mine working?
Yeah, please. Sorry, Amy. Yeah,
That's
so when a volunteer can sign up without being part of a group. Oh, my light's gone off. Oh, right, okay.
Gail's actually in a leisure centre today. She had an event this morning, so she's.
I haven't moved for a while, yeah. Yeah, so people can, and an individual can have a look at this to see if there are any opportunities to volunteer near them or what they want to do. So it's quite straightforward to use. So what they do, they put in their postcode or their city or town that they want to volunteer in. They can say how many miles away. So if they're driving and they're happy to go 10 miles, they can put that in. They can select an activity type and then they can search. I don't think I can do anything with this, can I? No.
That's me now, isn't it? Is that moving now if I show?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so for example, locally, there's some of mine there. There's Shop Fox Zero is one that they can volunteer at, and they can use it, volunteer at the shop. And that's their spend as well. So they can, is that their spend?
Yeah, so
yeah, that's the spend. So they are a hybrid partner. So their volunteers get time credits, but they also are able to offer spend for time credits. So people who earn can go into the cafe and buy a drink with get a drink with a time credit, and And the beauty of that is then hopefully they'll buy a cake or there'll be additional spend. So that's that part of it. There's also another part where they can find their volunteer opportunities. So if they're already volunteering as well, say in a gardening project, for example, and they think, oh, I'd really like to volunteer on a Friday somewhere else, they can look locally to see what other opportunities there are, and it can tell them how they can sign up to volunteer. So they can volunteer in lots of different places and increase their volunteering.
So yeah, these are just some of this. This is just an example of some of the places where you can use your time credits at the moment. So and as Gail mentioned, you can filter. You can search for activity type if you're looking for a fitness and leisure activity or days out. You can use the toolbar to search, and then every offer gives you details about that activity. So Plantasia, for 2 time credits, I can get entry to Plantasia, which is like a tropical garden place in Swansea in Wales. And then it gives me instructions on how I use my time credits and all the information about the partner and any restrictions. So that's basically how the platform looks.
What's in it though? Do you mind if I ask a question? Is that okay, Amy?
Yeah, that's fine.
So I know when I talked about this before, because I'll cover a bit at the end about how it integrates with Team Kinetic, and you can kind of start with
Great, yeah.
the Team Kinetic system. But I just wonder what's in it for the people who are doing these offers. Like you've got a cinema who's saying you get free ticket with your time credits. What do the cinema get out of that? Why are they offering that? Why are they willing to do that?
So you have jumped again because that was.
Oh, sorry, ignore me. I was just in my head. I was thinking what questions people ask.
No, that's great because that's the very next slide. So yeah, all of our recognition partners accept time credits for free, and they're obviously the partners are an essential part of our model, and without them, this model wouldn't work. And we've worked with over 750 different partners over the years. And there's a range of reasons why they accept time credits, and that might be 1, to engage new people, new audiences, to reach new people. 2, that maybe they've got empty seats, unsold seats, or quiet times, particularly with theatres where they might have a show going on and they've got 80 empty seats, and they don't want their performers to be performing in front of an empty audience. So they will offer us time credits, and we can put a last minute offer out to our volunteers. And also they're looking to bring more people into the arts. And also the partners know when those volunteers come, they're likely to spend money at the venue. I think in a recent survey, 78% of our volunteers said they'll also spend money at the venue. So they'll buy a drink, or they'll visit the cafe, or they'll go to the shop.
You do at the cinema, don't you? Cost me more in popcorn and Coca-Cola at the cinema than it does.
Yeah, absolutely. And lots of our volunteers say, I now go to that venue because my entrance fee is covered, because I know when I take my children, they'll want something in the cafe, and I can't afford the entrance fee and I can't afford the cafe. So by knowing that the entrance fee is covered, they will go to that venue, whereas they'll say, otherwise I wouldn't go there. And they'd miss out on that opportunity, particularly, some of the National Trust sites, the entrance fee is quite expensive to get in. Also, those partners benefit from, we're effectively marketing and promoting them, so like 20,000 volunteers. And they benefit from that positive publicity. Like lots of our volunteers say, oh, I think more highly of that venue. I really like the fact that they give something back to volunteers. And also, I think there's the thought of, will they become repeat customers in terms of gym? When people lack confidence to go to the gym, and if they get used to using it with the time credits, there's the fact perhaps they'll come back and they'll buy a membership, or they'll bring a friend. And taking your friends to these places, that definitely happens as well. So there's lots of benefits as well, and it helps with their CSR. So I always think, why wouldn't you? And the beauty is, we work with our partners. They can offer as little or as much as they like. It doesn't have to be an unlimited offer, so we can push things out at last minute. We appreciate venues need to bring in income. So, you know, we say to theatres, if you want to, you know, we have lovely offers from the Wales Millennium Centre in Cardiff. Some of those are London shows. Tickets are £80, £55. And often a few days before a show, they'll say the producers agreed that we can release tickets, and we email all our volunteers, and those tickets go. And they have a one, you know, they pick their seats. They're now rubbish seats. They get to choose where they sit, and they have a lovely time. And it's brilliant because for many, we still get volunteers who perhaps haven't been to the theatre or think sometimes the theatre's not for them. And the beauty of time credits as well is trying to encourage people to try something new, go somewhere new. You know, you may just really enjoy it. And we do have some lovely stories from people who, I met a lady once and she was a widow, and she treated her friends with her time credits to go and see an orchestra at the Royal Welsh College of Music and Drama. And she said, oh, I really didn't think I liked classical music, but she said we had a lovely night. The bar was there, it was lovely. We had a couple of hours out, and she said, I loved the music, it was incredible. And so she goes regularly now with her friends. So it's about sort of pushing people's comfort zones as well, and you know, try a new thing.
You've got some amazing stuff on there. It blows my mind. So they just literally say they got some seats free or whatever, and that's how you get you got some fantastic offers on there.
And what we're trying to do more as well now is look at the really localized stuff that's going on in community centres as well. So sort of, you know, the yoga classes or Zumba classes that are taking place in a community centre, or even local football matches where people are paying £5 or £6 to watch their local team, because ultimately that's a cost. And you know, I always think, whilst I could go to the theatre with my friend and have a lovely night, I could go to something in my local community centre and meet 5 or 6 other people there from my community. I can support that venue. I can find out what else is going on in that community centre. So,
which ones are the most popular? Curious.
Pardon?
Which is the most popular? I'm curious.
I think people love the theatres and the big shows, but there's a lot to be said for that localised stuff as well. Because even if you go and see your local rugby team, it could be £10 for 2 of you. But you know, if you go there, you might buy a burger, you might do a pint, you might go back to the club. So you're actually, in terms of like loneliness and isolation, you're sort of helping people. You know, you can get more benefits as well. So we're trying to look at those. We know everyone wants the big partners and the big venues, but we're also looking at those local opportunities, and there are barriers for some people, particularly in Wales, where public transport can be poor, and we've got, you know, people high up in the valleys, and the geography is not great. So having more choice on your doorstep as well can be really
absolutely
important. So, yeah.
Claire just put her hand up. Sorry, Gail.
I was going to do it. Sorry, Claire's got a question.
Hi, I just wanted to ask, how do you manage those volunteers that might be doing loads of hours, nabbing all the good things, and then not? How's that sort of managed in terms of people taking too much, or ensuring that everybody gets to have an opportunity to link into something they might be interested in?
Yeah,
I can answer it if you can't, because I know a bit about this. But you crack on, Amy, if you want.
I hope you're going to give the same answer as me, Steve. In Wales, we do actually, we cap time credits. We which sounds a bit odd, but because the programme is so big and we've got so many thousands of volunteers, and like you say, we've got groups where some of them have got 200 volunteers and they're doing hours and hours each week. We recommend that where there's regular volunteering taking place, volunteers are given a maximum of 5 time credits per week. And that doesn't sound a lot, but actually the things you use your time credits on are really low amounts of time credits. So you don't need a lot of time credits to do really nice things. Most of our offers operate on the value of time. So if a show in a theatre is 2 hours long, it's 2 time credits. So there's not a huge amount of time credits needed. And we encourage groups to think about, like if they might have volunteers coming in for 3 hours, but they might say they call that a shift, so they might just give them 2 time credits. Or some groups will say your first 5 hours of volunteering are time credited. But really it's about ensuring that this is not a payment, and we want to stay away from that area because, you know, potentially there could be implications with benefits. This is just a token gesture and appreciation to show your thanks and to show we recognise and value you, rather than sort of that precise calculation. And we just put our trust in the organisations that they're not going to take advantage. And our accounts are digital, so we're going to show you the accounts in a little bit. We can see exactly what's being given out, and we try and restrict. In Wales, there's an allocation sort of given to groups every 3 months to help them manage those time credits as well. And we have recently got some funding to update our platform, so they're going to be a little bit more stricter going forward on how many time credits are given out.
We yeah, I'm glad to hear what yeah, my interpretation is the same as yours. I just know, because I'm a bit called at the start because one of our customers. For those of you who don't know, I can kind of mention it a bit at the end. It's built in. We have a built-in link basically to the Tempo system from the Team Kinetic system. Once you link the system up, it's literally as easy as going to set up within the super admin menu, and then it's integrations, and then you'll see a start button next to Tempo. It tells you a bit of blurb, stuff we just covered today, and you click on that, and that starts the request, which essentially was about you getting set up with a Tempo account, and then we link the Team Kinetic system through to it. So literally, as the people are logging hours, then it's building up those credits that they can utilize. So just log the hours in a normal way using Team Kinetic, and it automatically updates on the Tempo accounts. But they, I was going to say, link to the Tempo account. Oh yeah, but we come across this problem before because we had a customer down in London. Which one was it? Down in London, and they said, yeah, they had that same worry that you just mentioned before about, well, surely, you know, we get some time credits, and everyone's, you know, get 2 or 3 people are just going to hammer it, and they've got, you know, 200 hours logged in the system because they've been really, you know, really busy volunteering, and they're just going to suck up or use all the time credits initially. So, but there is controls, and you link it up to the Team Kinetic system. I know they built in controls to do exactly what Amy was just saying then, saying you can only have so many per week or so many per month per person. So it limits how many they can have. So they can't just grab them all at the start. Everyone else gets a chance to get a slice of the cake.
Yeah, and we're starting to say to groups as well now. Again, we've been using our platform since 2025, and we've lived with a lot of it till then, and now we can see ways and little tweaks we need to make to improve things. And one of those is on our platform, you can see if your volunteers are using their time credits or not. And we're starting to say to groups, if you've got a volunteer who's got 200 time credits and they're not using those time credits, then please chat to them or think, do you need to keep giving them those time credits? But ask them, why are they not using them? How, you know, do they understand it? Do they know where they can use them as well? So we're trying to look at ways in which we can help with the platform allow us to do that as well. But it does work quite well, and it's interesting that we do have some volunteers who have a lot of time credits and have never used any, but when you suggest that they're not going to get their time credits anymore, they're outraged because for some of them, I think it's still, I don't know if it's maybe like having those club card points, it's still a recognition. It shows what they've done, what they've achieved, and they feel they've got something. It's there, even just feeling that they've been recognised and that it's been recorded. They get something out of that as well.
Yeah,
quite interesting.
Oh, Claire's got another question, Amy.
Yeah,
sorry, it might be a Steve question this as well. If for those volunteers that don't necessarily want to collect the time credits, I think a lot of our volunteers will. I'm really keen to set this up in Manchester. I've had loads of conversations with Rachel at Tempo about it for the last couple of years, just trying to get some funding for us to deliver something. But for those volunteers that think, no, I don't want any reward and recognition, it's about maybe, you know, it's volunteering and I don't want to access this. Is there a way for it not to be counted on their account, Steve, once it's integrated? Is it like a turn off? Or do we
I
just
think
add
from
more?
what I remember, you know, I'll dig out. We've got a video somewhere that shows the whole integration and how all that works. With Team Kinetic one, not this is why these guys haven't showed it probably. But it's to do with, from what I remember, it's linking through to the organisations. You link the Team Kinetic, so Manchester City Council, through to the Tempo account, and then it looks at all the volunteers and said, okay, these people have got hundreds, these people have got 10, these people have got 0, and then from there it says, for the volunteers that have logged hours, they have the ability, an extra tab that appears that says, okay, Tempo time credits. They can click on it, and then they can see the offers. It shows in the Team Kinetic system, it shows them the most frequently used offers. But then if they want to see the rest of them, they click on a link which takes them through to the Tempo page where they can see all of the Tempo time credits. But I don't think you can specify like this person has it, this person doesn't. It's just down to the volunteer whether they click on it. If they have hours logged, they can click on it and use it as long as you're linked up to the Tempo account.
Okay, so we turn it on and off, and then the volunteer then decides whether to access it.
Yeah, yes, basically, yeah. Once you turn it on, it's like system. All the volunteers have access to it once you switch it on.
Okay.
Yeah, any of them that have logged hours. But like I said before, you can put rations on it, like how many per month, so you don't get someone just saying, "I've got 1,000 hours here. I want everything."
Yeah. 'Cause I'm really interested in the local offer that you mentioned as well about connecting people into the place and the communities a little bit more. That's something in Manchester we're really trying to look at in terms of our residents. So
Yeah, it's great, and we can work with organisations to sort of look at their assets, to sort of like think what have you got in your organisation or your building that you could exchange for time credits? What are people's skills? What equipment have you got? Room hire, training? It's amazing actually when you start thinking about the assets within an organisation, how that lends itself to time credits as well. So sometimes you can, even if you've got volunteers within service who don't want to go out to a community, or you can create those volunteering opportunities within your own organisation to use and earn time credits. I'm just wondering, is everyone here using Kinetic system then, Steve, on this call?
I recognise some names.
I'm just wondering if you wanted to see what the time credit accounts looked like.
I'd have to find. To give us a couple of minutes.
I've got from our perspective, I've got a.
Oh yeah, I'd love to. I think people on this call would certainly be interested to see that, yeah, from a practical perspective.
Amy, sorry, Sidra's got a question.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Oh, thanks, Gail. And also thank you, Amy, for that presentation. This is the first time that I'm hearing of time credits, and it actually sounds like a wonderful incentive for the volunteers and also a way to reward them and give back to the community. I had a few questions, and it does tie into the Team Kinetic demonstration that you were about to get into. So the charity that I work for, STEMETS, we're primarily based in London, but we do operate all across the UK. I know that a lot of the examples that you've given are in Wales, but if, say, STEMETS wanted to kind of opt in for our volunteers that we either have on Team Kinetic or otherwise, do you have a reward system or partnerships based outside of Wales?
Yes, in the map that I shared earlier, we don't cover all of England, but we've got networks in the map that I showed you. So definitely in London, and it obviously doesn't work like Wales because with Welsh Government are funding us to work with everyone, so time credits free, but we can certainly work with organisations to you can buy like a subscription package so long as we've got a recognition network. So the places where you can spend your time credits, it is possible to buy a package of time credits from us for your volunteers, or to commission us, or we'll happily collaborate on funding applications or be written in. It's obviously easier where we've already got our established recognition network where people can use their time credits.
Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you for answering.
That's okay. I'm just going to try and share then. Hold on. So this is, can everyone see my screen?
Yeah.
So I just want to quickly show you what the time credit account looks like, just to give you a feel for how the system works. So this is a demo of what a volunteer would see when they set up a time credit account. So they'd see their name and this unique ID number, and then they'd see their balance, the number of time credits they've earned, so they're volunteering. And then this is where they can search. They can see other places where they can earn time credits, so where they can volunteer. And then they get to see all the places where they can use their time credits. Again, if I click on, this is the bit that we showed you earlier, you then take into the menu of places where you can use your time credits. And then you can also gift time credits, which is lovely. You just click on gift Tempo time credits and you enter the email address of the person you'd like to gift time credits to and how many. Is this going to work? And that person then gets an email telling them they've been gifted time credits and they're invited to set up a time credit account to receive those time credits and use those time credits. So that's something that's really popular as well. And a lot of volunteers get a lot of pleasure out of gifting their time credits. I know a lovely story of a lady who volunteered at a recovery service doing the admin, and she earned a lot of time credits, and she had new neighbours who were Polish. And when they arrived, she gifted them some time credits to take for the neighbours to take their children out. And they actually invited her to come with them. And she said they went and they had a lovely day out. And from there, friendship grew. And when she was telling me this story, she said, oh, I've just come back from their family wedding in Poland. They've become like part of my family. And that all came from gifting time credits. So the gifting option is lovely for people as well, and works well for those people who say, no, I don't want time credits. And we say, well, send them to your family or your grandchildren. We have people in Wales who have got relatives in London and doing university, and they send them time credits to use on like the Thames Clippers or for things like photocopying and so forth. And the other thing that the volunteer gets is a time credits history, a record of their volunteering, which is quite nice. So the account is quite simple to use. And I'm just going to show you the organisation giving out the time credits has a similar account, but it does a little bit more. And in the main, it works by these sort of 4 main buttons, where they invite their volunteers to join up to earn time credits via a unique link that they copy and paste and send to the volunteer. And there's also a way, if the volunteer isn't on email, they can still be registered and they get given a sort of membership card that they can use and give their ID number. They can ring a venue and give them their ID number, and the venue will deduct time credits from their account. And they can ring our customer service team Monday to Friday to find out their balance of time credits. So there's an offer in there for people who are not on email. When the volunteer signs up, it's really simple. They all appear in the list of volunteers. And again, this is where you can see if your volunteers are using their time credits or not. And then to give out time credits is really simple. And this might be different if you're obviously using the Kinetic system. But we ask the organisations to tell us what their volunteers are doing. So maybe they are giving practical help, or they can put something really specific in, and then choose who to give time credits to. There's a drop-down list of all the volunteers who have registered with them. So they select their volunteers and they literally give them, Bob might have done 3 hours of volunteering, Hannah might have done 5, Jemima might have done 2, or actually I'm going to give them all 2. And then this is not going to work at the moment because the balance is out, but I would click say thank you and give out Tempo time credits, and then all those volunteers would get their time credits added to their accounts, and they'd get an email notifying them that they've been given time credits. And then you can request more time credits from us just by clicking a button when your time credit balance is low and you need some more time credits, you click on get more time credits and we get a request saying you need some more time credits, and we add more time credits to the account. That's a really, really quick overview, but it's a really simple system to use that we developed with volunteers. And it's quite, if you're confident, IT is quite sort of self-explanatory, we think, but I'm guessing Kinetic it works differently if you're using the Kinetic system. I'm conscious of the time actually, so
Do you want me to talk about the Team Kinetic side briefly? Are you conscious of the time that you're running out of time?
I'm a bit strapped for time, yeah. So I'm just going to go back to my, sorry, lots of sharing here. Are you seeing my screen?
Not yet, no.
Okay, let's try again.
Click on the screen underneath, remember, that always catches me out.
Okay. Can you see that?
Yep.
Okay, I'm just going to scroll through how it works. You've covered digitally, covered the digital accounts. So just, yeah, some of the key points about time credits. So in Wales, they are completely free and the group gets allocated a set number per quarter. There's no expiry date on time credits, so they wouldn't run out. However, we obviously do encourage people to use them because they get so many benefits from using those time credits. They can gift them, as we've discussed, and volunteers don't need to sign up for a set period of time. It's fine for someone to just earn one time credit if needs be. They can earn as infrequently as they like. There's no impact on benefits with time credits, and people of any age can earn time credits, or sometimes we have little ones earning time credits for clearing up after a play session, and they build up to sort of their hour of time. And you can also advertise volunteering opportunities on our platform. Just talking a little bit about the impact of time credits. So we work with over 1,600 charities and community groups. And every year we do an annual survey to try and assess the impact that people feel time credits are having for them. And 70% from our last survey, 70% of groups felt that time credits had helped them with volunteer retention. 61% said time credits had helped them to recruit more volunteers, and 73% felt time credits had helped to improve the health and well-being of their volunteers. And our impact survey also shows that there can be considerable benefits to volunteers too, such as helping to combat loneliness, boost happiness and confidence. So now I'm getting good at this sharing and go into, hopefully, bear with me. I'm going to try and share a little film with you, if that's okay. It's an old film that was made from one of our projects in Cambridge years ago, and it shows people before time credits were digital. Time credits used to be paper notes, like Monopoly money. So you simply give out the notes to volunteers and they handed them over at the venue. So it was really nice. It was really tangible, but also it wasn't easy for our partners to accept those time credits and to analyse where people were using the time credits. We had staff who used to count all those notes every 3 months. All the notes would be spent back and we'd be counting all the notes to show where people had spent them. And it was really expensive as well. So you'll see in this film that the notes are being shown, but I like this film because it shows the sort of impact that time credits can have on somebody's life. So bear with me. Okay. And let me know if if the sound's not working.
When I first moved to Wisbech, I didn't know anybody. I'm on my own with 2 boys and it is so hard to meet people. I hadn't worked since I had children and had started to feel very depressed. I didn't go out of the house much and felt very lonely when the boys were at school. One day when I was dropping the boys off at school, I saw something about time credits. A teacher from the school saw me looking and suggested I give it a go. I was scared, but I decided to try something new. I went to the school and talked about what I could do. I was always good at English at school, so they suggested I try reading with children. The first time I went into a classroom, I was so nervous. I helped a little girl whose first language isn't English to read a book about dinosaurs. It was fun, and when I left, I felt really proud of myself. With time credits, for each hour I give of my time as a volunteer, I earn 1 time credit that I can spend on an activity. I started volunteering regularly. After a while, I started to help out with admin in the office. It was great to be able to learn something new. I was surprised, as it turns out, I'm actually quite good at it. They have even been encouraging me to apply for a job. I got to know lots of people who have become friends. I come out of that school now and it's like, wow, I've got my energy back. Now I feel like I'm not just a mum at home doing housework. I feel like a person again, like I'm a good role model for my boys. I've really enjoyed spending the time credits I've earned. I've started swimming and even managed to lose a few pounds. I even went to the gym. I feel much happier and don't sit at home moping anymore. I have taken the boys to the cinema, which is a treat we can't usually afford as a family. They love being able to do something all together. I even saved up my time credits and in the holidays went with a small group of other volunteers to spend them in London. It was the first time the boys have been. It was such fun. The boys love being able to go places together as a family. I don't feel lonely anymore. I feel part of the community. In fact, I feel like anything is possible. The University of Cambridge carried out this research to evaluate the public health outcomes of time credits in Wisbech. The study was funded by the National Institute for Health Research's School for Public Health Research.
There we go. It works. I like it. It shows the wide, and genuinely we come across stories like that all the time, and particularly with schools. I just think it gives a really good picture of the wider impact and some of the things that we don't always get to hear about, and what's the knock-on effect for those children of having like a more confident mother and a mother in work and can take them things. So yeah,
absolutely, that's a great video. I like it.
It's an old one. My screen. Just going to go back to so just going back to those stats and looking at impact. Again, our annual survey sort of would back up what the firm is saying, that last year 64% of those surveyed felt their mental health has improved. 57% tell us they feel healthier overall. 35% reporting they needed to see the GP less. And 60% stated that earning and using time credits has improved their quality of life. And again, more stats about people feeling less lonely and isolated, and that they know more about the community-based services and the support available to them. And 51% telling us that they've helped shape the health and social services in their community, which is great, as time credits can be a really good tool for sort of co-production and people get involved in service design. I'm going to quickly skip. Gail, you were supposed to do this bit, but I'm quickly going to skip through this. We've got a case study booklet if anyone's interested in reading more about the impact of time credits on people's lives, then you can access those stories via this link. I'm assuming, Steve, you might be sharing my slides after today with people.
Yep, I think all the slides will be shared today. So yeah.
Oh, that's great. So you'll be able to access those stories. And I'm not going to go into this now because I'm conscious of the time. But I've done like a little summary of how time credits can help to build more inclusive communities, which you can read through later. And I've also got all our contact details if anyone is interested in following us on social media or learning more about us on our website or from our newsletters, or if you would like a follow-up call, my email address is on there.
Perfect. Shall I show them quickly how to do it with the Team Kinetic? Those on here from the Team Kinetic system. I'll only take a second. For those of you, if you are interested, a lot of fantastic, interesting information there. If you aren't bought into the idea, then I don't know why, because it's obviously some great offers there. But if you do want to do it, the first point of call is you can have a contact tempo, or you can do it via your Team Kinetic system. So if you're going to do it via your Team Kinetic system, you're about to see a load of tabs here and have a heart attack. I'm sorry, I have a lot of tabs open on my screen, so a lot of balls in the air. But when you log into your system, this is the Team Kinetic system now. You're probably all aware of and familiar with. If you go into the super admin menu, down to setup here, and then go to API and integrations. So it's super admin, setup, and API and integrations. And there's a section down here which says Tempo time credits. Okay, bit of blurb there, but basically click on get started. And all that do is send a message through, and then someone will be in touch with you about setting up your Tempo account. And then we link them together with your Team Kinetic system. And then we set up any rules that need to be in place in terms of volunteers can only have 5 per week or 5 per month or whatever rules you need to set up. But yeah, there is a document as well talking about it in a bit more detail I could share in the chat potentially. Put it in here. If you can't, I don't know whether it's shared. It'll share for me, obviously, as my document. I don't know what the security is. I haven't had a chance to check the security on it. But if you can't open it, no worries. Just drop us an email, steve@teamkinetic.co.uk, and I'll share that document with you. It just goes through a bit more of the process, not just the Tempo, but the Team Kinetic and Tempo process. But really, if you before you do anything, just click on that start button and someone will be in touch with you. I just showed you that's the best kind of first step, I would say. Thank you, Amy.
Great. I'm just going to end to say,
Okay.
I think that's it for time, isn't there? But
Yeah.
Are there any other questions?
There's none in the chat, I don't think.
Oh, great. In that case, thank you so much, everyone, for sort of giving up your time this afternoon and coming to listen to us. We really appreciate it and hope you enjoy the rest of the conference.
Thank you. That was great there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers. Thanks, Gail.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.